Hi, I'm Dr. Elliot Adam from ElliotOracle.com. I'm also the author of Fearless Tarot, How to Give a Positive Reading in Any Situation, which is out now from Llewellyn Books. It's available on Amazon as well. And if you like my positive approach to tarot, you're going to love this book. This week as well, this Friday, I'm going to be doing a live Instagram event at 5:30 p.m. Central Time with Melissa Sanova. She's the author of Kitchen Table Magic. This book is so cool. I was starting to read it and I loved it so much I had to buy an extra copy and send it to my sister downstairs. And now she loves this too, so I can't wait to talk to Melissa about this book. But please do tune in. It's Friday, 5:30 p.m. Central Time. It's time for this week's Oracle Reveal. So earlier today on Instagram, I placed up a photo of 3 different animals, and I asked you to use your intuition and ask yourself which animal's getting stuck in your head, because that animal has a message for you. The animals were the crow, the badger, and then the bobcat. So if you pick crow, it says co-create with spirit, and crow is all about manifesting, but it's also an animal that pays attention to signs and omens. So sometimes this card will come up, or this animal will be something we're attracted to when we're needing to notice some kind of a sign or a synchronicity around us at this time. So pay attention on your daily path. Are you seeing a number a lot? Is there a color that's showing up often? There's probably a message in there for you. First card for Crow is where it's best for them to place their focus this next week. And we got the Ace of Cups, which is always a card of love, rebirth, and renewal. Whenever we see the Ace of Cups, it's saying it's time to open your heart to love again, and also to be vulnerable and to share with other people. Aces in a tarot reading are just like aces in a poker game. They're really good to get. So when we have an ace, it's indicating that there's something that's really positive that's manifesting, or even your luck might start to change. And in the case of the Ace of Cups, it's also about touching on the sacred, touching on something that really has some deep meaning for you. So instead of just being about love relationships, the Ace of Cups could also indicate that this is a time to really delve into what makes your spirit sing at this time. The second card we're going to go over is advice from your inner wisdom. And the card we get is the Two of Swords. And the Two of Swords is always a card of being in between. You got this woman who's in between the new moon and the full moon. She's in between the sky and the sea. She's balanced between these two swords. And she's blindfolded, which symbolizes that she can't see what's coming yet. And what this could indicate right now for the Crow people is that you are in between right now. You have this really great energy with the Ace of Cups coming up, which is saying that something new is opening to you. But you're not 100% in the future yet. You're also not in the past. There's kind of a limbo quality to the Two of Swords. And so you just want to be patient and kind and gentle to yourself as you're going through this transition. Know that there's something beautiful being born in you, but it needs some time to play itself out. And then finally, we have the mythic archetype that's going to be helpful to the people who picked the crow. And we get Poseidon, the god of the sea. Poseidon is all about delving into your deeper emotions. And in fact, the sea kind of features on both of these other cards as well. Not only the Ace of Cups, but also the Two of Swords. And so what this could indicate is it's really time to go deep. It's time to go within. It's time to really inspect what your inner self is trying to tell you. And yes, pay attention to those signs and signals and omens in your daily life, because they're going to highlight or bring to the surface something on that deep emotional level for you. And finally, Poseidon, he can be a little bit moody sometimes, so allow yourself some space and be gentle to yourself emotionally if you're just feeling a little bit more changeable at this time. Sometimes Poseidon also tells you that it's best to allow yourself to feel a feeling that you've been repressing or avoiding, because if you can feel the feeling, it's going to actually loosen its grip on you. Next, we're going to have the Badger spirit, and it says, be fearless and bold. And badgers are kind of aggressive. So this could be an archetype or an animal that you're really attracted to when you need to just go for it, when you need to take charge or really push forward on something that you're trying to heal or something that you're trying to manifest. First card for Badger is where it's best for them to place their focus this next week. And we get the Page of Wands, who is always an aspirational figure in the tarot. You can see him here holding that wand in front of him that's a lot taller than he is. And what this can really indicate is that for you, especially at this time, the thing that you're needing to focus on is what you're growing into, who you're becoming. Sometimes the Page of Wands is also saying it's time to cultivate a skill or a talent, or to really look up toward what you're trying to manifest in the long term. And finally, the Page of Wands is not very critical of himself during that learning or perfecting process. You know, sometimes we think in order to attain something, it's got to go all right, it's got to be perfect, or we really have to drive ourselves. But the Page of Wands is saying it should be fun as well. It should be enjoyable, and it doesn't need to be perfect. And so that act of perfecting isn't always going to end up in that perfect result. And you just need to roll with that and be okay with it and really let your creativity flow. Second, the card we're going to go into is advice from your inner wisdom. If you pick the Badger, we got the Seven of Swords, which shows that figure who's sneaking into the enemy camp. He's stealing away some of their swords. And what this is indicating is that you may be up against an obstacle. It might feel overwhelming. It might feel a lot bigger than you. Much like the wand is bigger than the Page of Wands and the army is bigger than the figure on the Seven of Swords, it's still saying you need to use your wits. You need to overcome the challenge and really apply all of your skills, all of your intelligence towards really developing yourself, really standing up and becoming a person who is able to take charge of this moment. And so I just feel like there's something kind of important happening for Badger right now, where you really need to show up in the world and not be afraid, not avoid whatever it is that's giving you a little bit of anxiety right now. You're totally intelligent enough to handle this. And then finally, we have the mythic archetype that will be helping the people who pick Badger. And again, witty Hermes is showing up, the cerebral god of communication, the messenger god. And Mercury in astrology often is associated with our intellect, reading, studying. And so again, we're getting this sense that there's something to study for Badger people. There's something to learn. There's something that you need to pay attention to. And there's also something you need to outwit. Hermes was born, and within the first day that he's born, he steals away Apollo's herds of cow. And so what this could really indicate is that, again, there's kind of like a outwitting, crafty, trickster energy that's really going on around you if you pick the Badger this next week. And then finally, we got the people who picked BobCat. And BobCat is the lynx, the cat of mystery. And this is just a very intuitive archetype or animal. So when we're attracted to the lynx, it can really indicate that we're going into the mysteries. We're needing to really delve deeper. First card for lynx or BobCat is where it's best to place your focus this next week. And look at that, we got the Magician card. The Magician is a reminder of all that is limitless within you. The Magician teaches you that your thoughts are like magic spells. They're totally going out into the world and they're creating the reality you're experiencing. And the beauty of the Magician card is that if you can channel your highest self right now, and if you can change your thoughts, you can change your life. So if you don't like how something's looking, you can make up your mind to do something different and really manifest something great for yourself. Remember that you're limitless. Remember that magic is around you and that it's important to channel your will towards your best good. Advice from your inner wisdom. If you picked the BobCat, is the Nine of Cups, which is always a card of wishes fulfilled, manifestation. You see the figure with the cups that are all in a row. It's like he's got all his ducks in a row. He's got everything arranged. And what this can also just indicate is that this is a really great time for putting out your intentions, really doing some sort of a magic energy. Maybe get Melissa's book and Kitchen Table Magic and start to weave some spells, start to weave something that you're trying to manifest into your life and see its result. But it's really important to get clear on what you're wanting right now and also believing that it absolutely can manifest. The Nine of Cups is always about wish fulfillment. And then finally, we got that mythic archetype that is going to be helping the BobCat people, and we get Hera, the queen of the gods. She's also the queen of the air, the queen of the skies. And she's also about really holding on to your dignity at this time, really stepping into your majesty, stepping into your power, and not accepting anything less than the best. Hera is telling you to raise your standards and change your life. So that is this week's Oracle. I hope you did enjoy it. And if you did, you can always check me out at elliotoracle.com and get a reading from me there. Otherwise, I hope you all have a safe and happy and healthy week. And I will see you again next time.